What if a single event could change the course of history and ignite a conflict that would span generations? Picture the year 1947, a time of hope and change, but also of deep divisions and growing tensions. It was in this year that the United Nations proposed a partition plan for Palestine. The plan, intended to bring peace, instead resulted in a stark division between Arabs and Jews, setting the stage for a clash of national aspirations. This division would soon erupt into the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, the first in a sequence of conflicts that would ripple across the region. The UN's decision, though well-intentioned, became the spark that ignited a war. It was a war not just over land but over identity, over history, and over the right to self-determination. Thus, the stage was set for a conflict that would shape the Middle East for decades to come. The stage was set, and the players were ready. The curtain was about to rise on a drama that would captivate the world. The year is 1948, and the newly declared State of Israel is under attack. In the heart of the Middle East, a war rages. The Arab League, a coalition of Arab nations, has intervened with the goal of eradicating the fledgling Israeli state. This war, known as the War of Independence or Nakba, depending on which side of the line you stand, was a tumultuous period, marked by fierce battles and strategic maneuvers. The Arab forces, though larger in number, were fragmented and lacked coordination. Israel, on the other hand, fought with a unified command and a clear purpose. By the time the armistice was signed in 1949, Israel had not only survived the onslaught but also expanded its territories. This war resulted in a significant demographic shift, with multitudes of Palestinians displaced and Jewish immigrants flowing into Israel. While the war ended in a ceasefire, the deep-seated tensions remained, setting the stage for more battles to come. Fast forward to 1956, where the Suez crisis once again puts the region on the brink of war. A strategic waterway, the Suez Canal, was at the heart of this conflict. Egypt's President Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the canal, previously controlled by Britain and France. This move was not taken lightly by the Western powers, leading to a tripartite invasion by Britain, France, and Israel. This invasion was, however, short-lived. International pressure, particularly from the United States and the Soviet Union, forced the invaders to withdraw. Despite the military setback, Nasser emerged as a hero in the Arab world, emboldening Egypt and setting the stage for further conflict. As the dust of the Suez crisis settled, the stage was set for one of the most dramatic conflicts in the region, the Six-Day War of 1967. The causes of this war were complex and multifaceted, rooted in decades of tension and conflict. But the immediate trigger was the blockade of the Straits of Tiran by Egypt, a move seen by Israel as an act of war. The war began with a preemptive Israeli airstrike that decimated the air forces of Egypt, Jordan, and Syria. This stunning opening salvo was followed by rapid advances on the ground. In the span of just 6 days, Israel managed to seize the Gaza Strip and Sinai Peninsula from Egypt, the West Bank and East Jerusalem from Jordan, and the Golan Heights from Syria. The Six-Day War was a military triumph for Israel, significantly expanding its territory. However, it also marked the beginning of a new phase in the Arab-Israeli conflict, with the occupied territories becoming a focal point for further tensions and conflicts. With the end of the Six-Day War, Israel significantly expanded its territory, but peace was still a distant dream. The reverberations of this swift and decisive conflict are still felt today, a testament to its enduring impact on the history of the Middle East. 1973, on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar, war again engulfs the region. This conflict was the Yom Kippur War, a surprise attack that shook the Middle East and sent shockwaves around the world. On October 6, 1973, Egypt and Syria launched a coordinated assault against Israel. It was Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, the most sacred day on the Jewish calendar, when Israel was in a state of religious introspection, not military readiness. The choice of this day for the attack was not a coincidence but a calculated move by the Arab forces. The element of surprise was on their side and they made significant initial gains. Egypt crossed the Suez Canal and entered the Sinai Peninsula, territory it had lost to Israel during the Six-Day War. Meanwhile, Syria attacked the Golan Heights. The Israeli defense forces, taken off guard, faced heavy losses initially. However, they quickly mobilized and launched a counter-offensive. Over the course of the next few weeks, Israel managed to turn the tide. Despite a rocky start, they pushed back the invading forces, crossing the Suez Canal into Egypt and advancing into Syria. This war was not just a military conflict, but a political one. It shifted the dynamics of the Middle East and set the stage for a new phase in the Arab-Israeli conflict, a phase of negotiation and peace talks. In 1978, 5 years after the Yom Kippur War, the Camp David Accords were signed. This peace agreement, brokered by US President Jimmy Carter, marked the first official recognition of Israel by an Arab country, Egypt. It was a significant step towards peace, although it did not end the conflict entirely. The Yom Kippur War was a pivotal moment in Middle Eastern history. It exposed the vulnerabilities of Israel, showed the determination of the Arab states, and ultimately led to a shift from outright war to diplomatic negotiation. The Yom Kippur War marked a turning point in the Arab-Israeli conflict, leading to the first peace treaty between Israel and an Arab state. And while the peace process has been fraught with challenges, the legacy of this war continues to shape the region. The Arab-Israeli conflict, spanning decades, has left a profound impact on the region. We delved into the origins of this enduring strife, tracing back to the sparks that ignited a war, a complex weave of political, religious, and territorial disputes. We journeyed through the War of Independence, a pivotal chapter that saw the establishment of the State of Israel amidst waves of conflict and displacement. We then navigated the tumultuous waters of the Suez Crisis and the Six-Day War, events that further exacerbated tensions and reshaped the geopolitical landscape. Our exploration continued with the Yom Kippur War and its aftermath, a period marked by surprise attacks, strategic shifts, and enduring repercussions. Across these episodes of conflict, we observed the ongoing impact on the region, from human loss to territorial changes, from diplomatic shifts to cultural transformations. While the conflict continues to evolve, understanding its history helps us grasp the complexities of the present and the challenges for the future. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.